Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. In today's video, we're going to be continuing through our fall-winter 1916 turn in our demonstration game of Global War 1914. The next nation to play will be France. However, I couldn't help but notice after the last video when I was doing the editing that I forgot a couple of rolls. During the random events, one of the random events was to roll technology for the nations, and I forgot to roll Italy's and Japan. So let's just do that first before we get to France's turn. So Italy is going to go for wartime economy, 7 or more. They get it. And Japan is going to go for improved construction. They get it. Okay, so Italy goes to stage 2 and Japan goes to stage 1 in improved construction. Okay, so France. Now France, they're going to go for counter battery fire. They're only at stage 1 right now. 7 or more. Okay, they get that one. And they'll go for poison gas. 8, so they get that one as well. All right. And that one goes all the way to stage 4, mustard gas. All right. They also paid for 1 on the diplomacy chart, 1 roll. So they're going to go for Spain. Now, they've been having some tough luck with this, so they need a 3 or less. And that's not going to cut it. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so winter turn, you only get 1 round of combat, so I don't see much point in attacking on the Western Front. We've already got our mandatory offensive in. If we didn't have it in, this would be our last chance and we would go for that, but we're not going to. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that seaplane against that sub for the 100th time, and those guys down there are going to attack that cavalry. Okay, and that is going into some terrain. So let's start with the seaplane, and that is at 3 or less. And they get it. Okay, dead submarine. All right. Too bad they couldn't get a roll like that for Spain. Anyway, so let's see. They've got a Gurkha and a regular infantry. Let's see. The Gurkha is going to be the black one, so he'll be at 2 and the infantry will be at 1. And the purple one will be the cavalry, and he will be at 2. So 1 round only. And nobody hits. Okay. If it wasn't in terrain, that Gurkha would have hit. So everybody's just going to go back where they were. Okay. Non-combat moves. So let's set this down somewhere near France. Okay, we'll put that seaplane back where it came from. Okay, that's in Gibraltar. And they're going to bring up the Zouave from northern Algeria to southern France. They've got 3 infantry in Paris and 1 infantry in Picardy. They're all going to go to the front. No, don't make us go to the front. So we'll just take another 1 off. Put a red one down. And also, this artillery is going to rail up there. Oh, you know what? I should have... you know what? I'm not going to do it. I was going to say I should have gone for the attrition shot because they've got a shit ton of artillery. We'll get them next time. Haven't hit one yet this game anyway, and Germany does have counter battery fire. So we'll save them for next time. And I believe that's it up here. Yep, that's it. So we're going to put an artillery in the United States for cash and carry. We're going to put an artillery in Paris, a colonial troop in Algeria, where we had just taken one out. And we've got 2 trench fighters. We'll put one here in Lorraine, and we'll put one down in southern France, and then we have 4 infantry. So we'll put 3 in Paris, and one of them, actually, you know what, that artillery that we put in Paris, let's put him here instead in Romania, and we'll put an infantry over here as well. We're outside of home country, so the infantry gets to be put on because of the manpower marker combined with the factory. If I didn't have a factory, then it would have to be a colonial troop, right? So we can put the infantry on, and then the factory can produce the artillery. So that's how that works, in case I haven't explained it 100 times already. Anyway, that looks like it. So they did not take any territory. They will be at the same amount of money, which is 22 plus 1 for Spain is 23, plus wartime economy roll. 23 plus 7 is 30. Okay, that's 2 more than last time. That's it for France. Let's move on. Okay, so it's time for the Ottoman Empire. They have 1 major factory, and they're going to go for improved logistics. They are at stage 3 right now. So if they get this one, then that'll be a big help to them. And they get it. There we go. That means that, here, I'll just read it to you, since nobody has gotten it yet in this game. So you improve your transportation, logistics, and supply. At the start of each turn, you may choose one of the following. A, add 1 unit to your rail. B, add 1 unit to your strategic naval movement. Or C, add +1 range to all of your strategic naval movement. Now this one I got for the Ottomans because of the rail movement. There's not a lot of the technologies that are going to help them. Obviously the wartime economy is going to help them, and they already have defense in depth as well. They start with that on stage 3, but you know, like the naval ones aren't going to do much for them. You know, I guess maybe poison gas next would be all right, but poison gas you use with your artillery, and they don't have a lot of artillery, right? Counter battery fire, I mean, they're, again, that's with artillery, right? And they don't have a ton of that. But right now the rail capacity was only 1, so I'll just tell you right now, at the start of every Ottoman turn, they're using rail capacity, because I don't need a ship to go 6 spaces anywhere. So strategic naval movement. Anyway, so let's get to their turn here. Now, the goal for the Ottomans in this turn, I can tell you, is to take as many Russian territories as they can. And of course they don't have many they can take, right? But the reason is because on the very next turn, we're going to start rolling for the Russian Revolution. And how it works, like if Russia had all their starting territories, no more, no less, then the Russians would go to revolution on a roll of 12. So if Russia has more than, less than that, then you start bringing the dice down. Like here, there's a territory here that only has a militia on it, and a territory here that has a militia on it. They have 1 extra territory that they've taken of Germany's. That's why Germany tried to take that 1 territory back, but they came up 1 Cossack short. Oh well. Anyway, so if they can get these 2, then Russia will be down 1, and then the roll will be 11. And you know, the side benefit, of course, is that they've got a territory worth 1 here, right? I don't think this is worth anything. No, it isn't. But actually, is a side benefit for them as well, is that is going to bring their rail capacity, because the railway will come down here. Oh, it doesn't move over here, does it? Anyway, the rail goes through here, but I guess it doesn't. Like if I wanted to be able to rail up there, But I don't know about building a railway for 4, though. That might be too much. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So let's take an artillery in here. Remember, we only have 1 round of combat, right? So, and let's go 2 infantry and 1 colonial troop. So let's just put this one down. Let's bring this guy down here. And these 3 up here, along with this artillery and this mountain infantry. You know what? I'd probably be better off. Let's take 1 infantry there. And 2 guards down there. Because they roll higher, so we might as well use them for their offense, right? So we got 1 infantry in there. We're leaving these 2 infantry back. So, you know what then? Let's leave this 1 infantry up here. And bring this one over instead. There we go. There we go. I think it's pretty dicey that we're going to get 1 of those. Like, we're not going to lose the battles, but with only 1 round of combat, it's going to be tough to get in there. And we did lose our sub last time, so the little sub that could is not going to anymore. His raiding days are over. He was a good little sub though, wasn't he? Okay. So, let's go for the one in Armenia first. We have an artillery, 2 guards, a mountain infantry, and a regular infantry. So, artillery first. That is at 3 going into mountains. Missed. And then we have 2 guards, and we'll do the mountain infantry will be the one kicked up by the artillery. So the mountain infantry is at 3 and the 2 guards are at 2. Missed. And then we've got 1 infantry at 1, and that's a miss. Damn. Okay, so then they've got 1 militia at 2, and that's a miss. All right. Now we're going to North Persia. We've got an artillery at 3, and they get it. Okay. Well, at least they got 1 territory. All right. So, North Persia, and Ottomans go up to 10. The Russians go down to 17. Could that be right? Oh yeah, right, because they did lose that one too. Okay. Yep, that's right. But we're going to have to retreat. Retreat. Let's take all of these guys back here to Russia. And this guy came from here, so he will have to stay there. He's not going to be able to be moved. You know what? He could also go to here. Yeah, let's go up there instead. Okay. So these guys here are going to come down here. And then I have a rail capacity of 2. I'm not sure if you can see what I want to do here, so I'll move this. Okay. So we're going to move 1 guy here, 1 guy here, 1 guy here, and then we're going to rail 1 guy all the way up here, and we're going to rail the artillery up here as well to Serbia. Okay, and then we're going to move the 2 guys down here to Anatolia. Let's put them like that. There we go. And we've got nothing on our capital. That's about to change, don't worry. Okay, let's move over here a bit. Okay, we've got artillery and 3 infantry, and then we have 2 colonial troops. So we'll go 1 down at the bottom there in Palestine. And the other one in northern Iraq. Over here. There we go. And I believe that's it. So, they're up to 10 IPP now. Plus, oh, yeah, plus a bonus of 2 because they have that rail line to Berlin. Plus this. Oh, only 5. So 12 plus 5 is 17. Ottomans are done. Okay, so the Russians. Imperial Russia. They have 1 major factory, and they are going to. Actually, no, only 1. They've only got Moscow. Okay, they're going to go for improved logistics. They have a rail capacity of 2, and going into the revolution, I mean, all of Russia is used in that. And you know how big Russia is, right? So this would really help them. So here we go. Missed it. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to take a look at this. So, yeah, things are changing for them now, obviously, right? But they've had a good game so far. Believe it or not, even though things are looking a little less right now, they could be down 4 or 5 territories easily in another game, you know, maybe even more than that. Like, I'd say probably down 3 or 4 territories would be pretty normal, and more than that would be a bad game, and less than that, like this, is a good game. So they might hang on, like they might not go to revolution, or if they do, it might be late in the game when they do. But when we look at this now, there's nothing we can do as far as attacking. All we can do is defend on this border here. Like any attack we would try to make would be suicide. We've got trench line, trench line, trench line, and trench line, the French as well. So that's not looking good. Now that's one problem for us, is putting as many guys as we can there. The other problem for us is, you're thinking, okay, here, well, yes, that's a problem, but you know, like we put another guy there. I mean, it's going to be hard to get through there, right? Attacking a mountain border. But look at this one down here, though. See down there? Now that they've taken Persia, and I purposely didn't do that, because if I did, then the Russians would have started putting stuff over there, right? So that's one thing that you can do, is wait until the Russians are kind of tied up a bit, and you know, like earlier when I mentioned that if they were having a bad game, then I probably would have taken Persia earlier, right? But that wasn't the case. But now that they are in a bit of trouble, now I'm going to take Persia. Now that they don't have the horses to go down there and defend very well, right? Like they'll put what they can down there, but you know, like you look down there, the closest manpower, the icon they have is right here, and they've got one in Novosibirsk. But those 3 territories down there, no manpower icons, right? So they can't place anything down there. Like not even militia. You have to have that manpower icon, and I really like that, actually. I think that was brilliant. Whoever came up with that, I think it was probably Will. That was before we took over the game. But when you're thinking about it, I mean, the games before this, Axis and Allies and Global War, you put your infantry on at a factory, right? Well, how does that work? I've always wondered that, like since the 80s. Like, how does a factory produce men? I thought women did. And so the manpower icon is basically however many it is. Like if it's one, then there's some population there. If there's three, well, there's lots of population there. So there's, like you raise an army from the people that live there, right? The people that live in that region or that territory or that country, whatever the manpower icon covers, right? So it makes a lot more sense as far as I'm concerned. And I like that about this game. Anyway, we're going to have to go down there and we're going to have to protect that. Obviously, the Russians don't have any attacks other than attrition. Even then, let's see, we've got 3 artillery on 3 artillery, 1 artillery, 1 artillery down there. I'm just looking around at all the artillery. Okay, so let's do it here. So we've got 1 artillery going into Galicia at 1, missed. We've got 1 artillery down going into Transcaucasia. That's a miss. And let's do that 3 artillery going into, what is that? Congress, Poland, against the Germans. Oh, almost got 1. Okay, German counter battery fire. They've got 3 artillery there. Still none. Wow. How many dice have I rolled this game for attrition? Gotta be 30, 40 dice and not a single one. Wow. I'm looking around. That's the only artillery I see. Oh, we've got that convoy rating sub. Silly me. Here we go. That's +1 for the sub. Wow, look at that. I think that line is only worth 1. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, so that's 1 off the Ottomans. Okay. So, let's turn this around. What do we have here? We've got an artillery being built in the United States. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry and a militia. We'll move this infantry up here. We can move this infantry up here. We can move, I think we're going to need at least 4 of them down there, aren't we? We have defense in depth, so that's 4 there. So we can move 1 from here to here. We'll just take that guy. We'll be putting another one on here, right? Let's move that Cossack out of there. Maybe I'm not showing you everything. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this. I moved 4 infantry down here. I moved 1 infantry over here. I think I'm going to move the plane from Leningrad. I guess it would be Petrograd, wouldn't it? Down to here. Southern Belarusia, yeah. I've got that artillery. I think I'll move him over here. And I'm going to move 1 artillery back from Warsaw. I've already used 1 rail capacity, right? Keep looking around to grab dudes to move. I'm just running out. So I think I'm going to take that. I'm going to take an infantry out of Grodno province, and he's going to rail all the way down to here. That Cossack that I had here, he's going to go 1, 2. Then I've got 1 up here as well. He's going to go 1, 2 to here. They can cover more ground, right? So I'm going to get them out in the open. Like this guy here, he can also go this way, right? Okay. So sticking with this over here, we're going to place an infantry in Novosibirsk. Now, you know what? Let's place him here instead, because then he could go either way. He's no further away than that guy. Now, let's put him back here. We've got the artillery goes to the United States. And then 5 more infantry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You notice that I put everybody right on the front lines, right? This isn't like 36. In 36, you know, one of the common tactics is to keep the Russians one off the border, right? But the offense in this game is not as strong, right? So if you put your defense right on the border there, then they're going to have a tough time getting through there. Like even this guy here might be able to hold out, right? With only 3 rounds, if they don't roll great, then they don't get through, right? I mean, you saw that Cossack held here with all the guys that came in. And there's been so many examples in this game of the defense holding. Okay, then we also have 1 militia to go down. And I can't put it in any of those places because all of them only have 1. I'd like to put them down here, but I don't think I need to though. Because, again, going into mountains, I've got 2, 4 things there. They've only got 6 things there. You know, it's going to be tough for them to get through there, right? Let's put him here in case the French break through or these guys, the Austrians, break through. So there we go. Let's move on. Oh, we can't move on. We have to roll, don't we? What are the Russians at 17? The Russians should actually be at 18 because they're only down 2 and they're up 2 right now. Oh, wait. Yeah, Grodno province, sorry. Yeah, they're down 1. Okay, they're down 1 to 17. Plus, ooh, not good. 4. Okay, 21 IPP for the Russians. Let's move on. All right, it's the Kingdom of Italy, and they have 8 IPP, and they have 1 major factory. So, wartime economy is what they're going for. They're at stage 2, and they got it. There we go. Stage 3. Okay, we take a look over there. The only attack they're going to do is with their artillery there. They're going to do the attrition attack into Austria. So there's 3 artillery. And wouldn't that be amazing if somebody actually hit something? I think I might just fall over. No. Okay. Done. So, they're going to put their stuff on. They are going to put down 1 infantry and 1 Bersaglieri. That is their actually good sculpts too. Got the little feather in the cap there. That's their elite unit. And he attacks at 3, defends at 5, and he takes 1 artillery out for first strike. So the artillery still gets to shoot, but it won't be first strike. Same as the German Jäger. Anyway, that's what that guy does. So I guess we won't be rolling for wartime economy for those guys. So that's it. Let's move on. Okay, we have the Japanese. I noticed as I was looking at the diplomacy chart there that the Russians actually have a free shot. So they have 1 right now that is at, oh, he's at stage 2. So they got to collect an extra IPP for that one as well. Okay, anyway, they're going to go for Norway, which they have at stage 2 right now. Try to get them to stage 3. Okay, that's a miss. Anyway, the Russians will get an extra IPP there. Normally I'm perfect. As if. Okay, the Japanese are at stage 1 on improved construction, And they're gonna go try to get to stage 2. There they do it. Stage 2. Move that meatball up the chart. Okay, let's go play Japan. Alrighty. First of all, these guys are going to attack these guys because they're big and mean. And these guys, let's see. 1, 2. You know what? They're going to come all the way down here. Attack this guy. And then these guys are going to come down 1, 2, 3 and attack Palau. Palau, Palau, Palau. There we go. And that will be it. Let's do it. So we've got those 2 torpedo boat destroyers at 4. Both misses. And then the other guys have 1 at 1. Oh, hit. And 1 at 6. 2 hits. Wow. Okay. Those Japanese didn't know it hit them. Okay. And then they have got landing shots for their amphibious assault. They've got the black one is going to be at 4, the yellow one's going to be at 2. And they got them. Okay. So that's this one here. Kaiser Wilhelm land. And they go up $1. And Germany goes down $1. Okay. So that's that. I guess I guess they're gonna need to replenish their navy now. Okay, I don't see any non-combat moves. So let's put their stuff on. They bought 2 naval infantry and an artillery. And let's see. So they saved an IPP. Okay. Let's move over here. Now they're at 15, I believe, right? And they got a half that, so 7, because you round down. 7 plus 7 is 14, and they saved $1, so that's 15 for the Japanese. And we move on to America. Okay, time for the United States, and they are at an income level of 34. At 37, they can declare war on the Central Powers, and the game changes. Just like in the 36 game, all of a sudden, the game changes, right? So here we go. They need a 3 or more. Oh, that is totally cocked. Like you look at that from the camera angle, it looks like a 1. You look at it from the other angle, looks like a different one. So we got to roll that one again. Try it again. A 1. Okay. Well, that was anticlimactic. Can you imagine if they roll a 1 again next time? The Central Powers will actually have a much better chance to win this game. Okay then. So the Americans are at 35. Huh. Weird. I was getting all ready to explain what's going to go on, but now I'll just show you quickly. This is what they purchased. A whole lot of Lend-Lease stuff and a bit of ground units for them. So with the winter turn on, just wondering, remember last time they did an attack here? They absolutely pooched it, right? What do they got? I should have brought some artillery down. That's what I put that artillery in, whatchamacallit there for? Texas, but of course, now the Mexicans are in it. I wonder if we should try attacking Mexico. Yeah, let's do that. So up there, they've got artillery and a marine and an infantry attacking Mexico. Doesn't look like there's any terrain. And Mexico has an infantry and a cavalry. So the United States bought some ground units. They could theoretically weather that storm, right? And the other thing is, let's just take a shot down here. Why not? No, they're not going to. Okay. Let's just go for Mexico. Okay. Here we go. Oh, before we do that, though, we've got our technology rolls, don't we? So they've got 4 dice. Let's see. They're going to go improve logistics. They get it. They've got improved construction. Okay, improve factories. They got it. And let's go depth charges and hydrophones. They got that one. Convoy system. They got it. Okay, pretty successful roll so far. I'll change that. Okay, Mexico. So they've got an artillery at 4. Got them. So that would be the cavalry. And then they have an infantry and a marine. So the infantry is going to be at 2, and the marine is going to be at 4. They're going to add they're going to boost that one. All right. So the blue one will be at 4. Got him. Okay, then the Mexican infantry is going to be at 4. Missed. The United States takes out Mexico. Well, took out one of the territories anyway. So that's 1 down for the Germans. And remember now, the Americans don't get to count that IPP until they go to war. The only IPPs they can count are the ones that they're adding up with the dice. Their income roll every turn. Wow, that was almost too easy. Taking out Mexico. Alright. So, non-combat moves. Move this dude down here. That's all we're doing. And that's what Mexico looks like in the hands of the Texans. I guess we don't have to guard Texas anymore, do we? Okay. Another non-combat move, I think. Let's bring that artillery down. One, 2, 3. You know what? We might as well just go 2 to here. That's not going to get us any closer. Bring them to here. So that's what we did. We brought that transport down. I don't see any subs in the water. It might make you nervous, like leaving transports out alone like that, but there's no planes around. Like, this game is different in that your transports aren't necessarily at risk, right? I guess we don't need any more rolls, do we? Yeah, they don't get that other roll. So the Americans are gonna. Oh, we gotta put our stuff on. Duh. Okay. I guess I don't need to put all this crap in Texas anymore. Okay. Let's move back again. What I could do, I could just put this guy down here. Put one of these guys down here. And then put 2 infantry up here. It's all I bought for the Americans, but I did buy some other stuff. For instance, they're Lend-Leasing an artillery here. So the Russian's going in the far north where he usually goes. French dude's going here. British dude's going over here in the British Midlands. And also, they're sending up the artillery. So, we've got British infantry, artillery, French artillery, and Russian artillery. Okay, so, as usual, the Russians go here. Alright then, it's China. Okay, time for the Chinese warlord era. First things first, draw 3 cards. Feng Xian, add 1 militia to any territory. Okay, that's these black dudes here. Okay, I'll show you afterwards what I did. After we do whatever we're doing here. Xinjiang, add 1 militia to any territory. Well, that's handy. Since that was the territory we took last time for free. Well, not for free, we had to fight somebody, but... Okay. And... Yunnan, conduct a mandatory offensive. Okay, Yunnan has no units on the board and we can't do this card. When you can't do a card or you can't do a random event, then you choose another one. Zhili, add 1 cavalry to any territory. Alright then. The Zhili. Cavalry. Well, I guess we would go after this guy, wouldn't we? Going after this would just be suicide. So there we go. And I put the Feng Xian militia here and the Xinjiang militia up there. So we have got a fight to go to do here. Okay, so we got a cavalry versus a militia. Okay, so the cavalry's at 3, the militia, and he's blue. The militia is green and he's at 2. Ooh, this one needs to be rerolled. That's a hit. Both of them hit. How about that? Everybody shot each other at the same time. So I guess that stays in the hands of the nationalists. And the nationalists have 6 IPP, so they're going to buy 2 infantry. I haven't done a lot of Lend-Leasing there this game, have I? That happens. Sometimes you just forget about it, right? Especially when you're just playing by yourself. Like if there was more of us and you're sitting there, you got all this time on your hands, you're watching everybody else play, then you've got more time to think about these things, right? Like, maybe I do have 2 IPP to send over to China, right? Boy, that those Xinjiang guys, they're starting to piss me off. I think though that what we're going to do is we're going to go after this city down here. And again, winter time, so we've only got 1 round. I almost think, I wonder if maybe we should just do an attrition shot in there, because we know how effective those are. Yeah. Because they've got 3 infantry and 2 militia at +1 being in a city like that. Let's do that. Let's just do the attrition shot. Playing it safe. It's not a sprint. Okay, 4 artillery at 1. Absolutely nothing. Okay. So, are they going to move? I think they should. I think they should. I think we should move at least one artillery over here. And I'm just going to take this guy off. And you know what? I'm going to place an infantry here as well. There we go. I'm going to take this guy off. And I've got one more infantry to place. I'm going to place him right here, just in case the Gili spawn somebody else. At least there being infantry to fight him off. And that's it. And the other guys aren't going to do anything. So that is the end of our round. Yeah, Chinese didn't go up at all. Same amount of money. Okay. 6 IPP. So that's it for this round. And we will be going into the spring of 1917 next. And that's when things are going to happen. Americans are probably going to enter the war for one thing. But first we've got our random events to get to. We're going to upgrade the fighters. Let me see. Cuba's going to align, and we're going to roll for the Russian Revolution. And that roll will be at 11 or more. So a roll of 11 or 12, and the Russians will be exiting World War I. They were just having fun, too. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.